Hello, everybody. This is the Beast Trader again coming in. I want to teach you guys something about the bot, about just trading in basics. You know, when you're a beginner, you're not going to really know this, but you should know this after trading for a couple months or, after a couple years, hopefully. But man, the news, it doesn't matter what the signals say, it doesn't matter what's going on with anything. If the news is happening, news events, big news events happen, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that news event, and it's almost unpredictable unless you know who's going to come on with the news before they come out with it. Because as soon as that news hits, on the second that it comes out, that's when the market is going to go crazy. I mean, today is one of those crazy days. We're looking right now. Now, I love my favorite trade is what? Dow Jones. What is that? The US 30, the 30 biggest companies in the United States. But let me show you something that happens when the news happens. Now, look at this trade right here, and we can see that everything is moving normal, and then all of a sudden this big thing happens right here, and then it starts moving, really big, right? Sometimes this happens too in the opening bell. There's going to be very volatile. It's not going to be as volatile as big news events, but before the opening bell, sometimes there's news events around like 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, and the market opens on my time at 6:30 a.m. and that's when it gets real tumultuous, right? Volatility, they call it. But at 5:30 in the morning, a lot of news events are out. But today is a different day. Today is 11 a.m. when this news event happened right here, and it just went crazy. So let's say you took this bot trade down, you could have won, right? You could still be winning if you'd have stayed in, but man, God forbid this thing went up so fast right here. It's just crazy how fast this thing moved up. So let's look. We're on the 15-minute candles. Let me put it in perspective if we look at the 5-minute candles. Now you see all these little candles, and then big stuff starts happening right here. When does this occur? Exactly. If you look down at the bottom of this perforated, you'll see down here that it says 11 a.m. is when this big, huge candle, no other candle is as big as it, because that news event went crazy today. Let's look at the 1-minute candle so we can see just how crazy that 11 o'clock really is. So this is the 11 o'clock candle right here. On the minute, everything is super small, and then all of a sudden for 1 minute, all this happens. And then for minutes, it starts going back down, but they're little candles. See, in 1 minute, this big thing happened right here. And this is like part of the 1 minute where it still went up and then came back down, right? It's like a minute and a half. But why did that happen? Everybody says, why, Beach? Why? Well, the bot picked it on the 1 minute that it was going to go up like that. And if we look at the other time frames, let's look at the day. On the day, is that 11 o'clock thing going to really do that? No, it's on the same candle because it's a 24-hour candle. But it's going to be bigger than the regular candles the other days. 4-hour candles. These are all 4-hour candles. Look, this one candle for 4 hours is way bigger because we're still, right now, it is, what time? It is 12:11. So it's only an hour and 11 minutes later. So it's still in this 4-hour candle. So look how big this candle is. Went up and went right back down. Nothing else is even close to that side. Here goes another one at, that 6 o'clock or that 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when the opening market and when big announcements happen at like 5:30 another day. That was on last Wednesday. Okay, let's look at from the hour perspective. On the hour, we see that it's just this huge crazy candle, goes all the way up, goes all the way down. On the 30 minutes, same thing, goes up, goes down. On the 15 minutes, same thing. Now let's look, where do we look at the news? Forex Factory. So Forex Factory is open right here, and today is September 18th on Wednesday, and it says right here that at 11 o'clock, let's go ahead and refresh it because it's basically, I look at it in the morning, and let's refresh this because it's like around, okay, now you see it past the 11, it past 11:30. So what happened at 11 o'clock? Federal funds rate, the rates came out. This doesn't happen that much, and it was supposed to be, it was predicted at 5.25. It was at 5.5, and it hasn't went down in 4 years. And today is the first time it went down, and that's why the interest rate for food and everything, it had no control over the United States. What these people are like over the states, they're over the whole globe, basically. These people that, you know, put out the rate announcements, and that's how much banks can borrow and things like that, and how much they can give out to other clients, right? FOMC economics, big, huge event happened at the same time. Their statement came out, and then their press conference came out. So 11 o'clock to 11:30, big crazy news that will, you know, change every single thing. Let's go ahead and click here, because you see there's other red boxes, but for some reason there's a red star in here. And let's look at what this is telling us. Interest rate at which depository institutions lend balances held at the Federal Reserve to other depository institutions overnight. So this is basically lending by banks to other banks and to people. And this is why if the bank gets it at a certain price, then we're going to get it for way more than that. Okay, the Federal Reserve System. Let's go ahead and read. You know, this is the FOMC. This is one about traders going to brace for the least predictable Fed meeting in years, because nobody knew what was going to happen. Sometimes we'll know what's going to happen, but this year, you know, we didn't know. So Rutgers, and if we read this, you can see that this is a big ripple effect, which is going to happen. Asset classes from stocks, currencies, and fixed income could all log swings in the immediate aftermath of the decisions. Investor said stock options are picking up about 1.1 swing. The S&P 500 has advanced for 7 straight seasons, rising 4.2. So this is what happened today, and we could read it about it in the news from Forex Factory. So that was one of the top news on here. So let's go back, and we could read other stuff about it, or we could read about the FOMC. That was the latest thing that happened. So 45 minutes ago, they give us a video on YouTube about it, about the Federal Reserve. You can learn about it. The summary of the economic projections is right here. So there's a lot of good information. Now, the whole thing is, as soon as it happens, that's when like all hell breaks loose on the trade. So that's why when you're trading, you got to be careful that you don't get caught in one of these storms where it starts going the wrong way just because of the news at that second. Let's look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, is there anything that's going to be crazy? Usually stuff happens at what? 5:30 in the morning, like I told you. So right here, we got the unemployment claims, which comes out every week. And then there's one that comes out every month. It's the big guy. That's not this week, though. So the unemployment claims, what does that mean? Well, they're predicting right now, the previous week was 230K people were basically, you know, on unemployment by the government. That doesn't mean how many people are without jobs. That's just saying how many people signed up for unemployment, right? So then next one is going to be the actual is going to happen right here in the morning at 5:30. We don't know. They're predicting it's going to be the same. But you can look and you can see that it's not the same. It's barely ever the same. If we click on it, we should be able to see the last one. So, you know, this is going to be the next one. So September 12th, the last one, it was at previous 228. The forecast was 227, but it was more people didn't have jobs. So that was worse for the dollar. And so here goes the 232. The month before, they predicted 231, and it was better for the economy because it was a little lower. So when they're like 1,000 off or a couple thousand off, it's not going to, you know, sway the forecast. So people can use this forecast to predict which way the market's going to go. But when something radical happens like this right here, look at this, 234, they predicted, that was the month before, then they predicted 236, and it ended up being way better at 227. It's like a 10,000 less people that thought were going to be unemployed were not. And so that's a beautiful thing, and that helped the market. So that's the 5:30 events that always happen. And there's other events. You always got to watch out for the ones that are in the United States. Nothing on Fridays usually, but let's look at some other dates. So yesterday, 5:30, we had the core retail sales. Retail sales, that's a big event. It had the market going crazy. Bank holidays for China or USD or Europe is a big thing because those are the biggest banks in Japan. Here we go with a lot of banks. This was on Sunday, where the market's not open anyways. Here we go. That was last Friday. Here we go. 5:30. You see stuff again. PPI, unemployment claims. Wednesday, CPI report, 5:30. You got to be very careful to close out your trades or know what you're doing 5:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time, because that's when most of these are going to come out on the United States. Okay, so I kind of took you to some. Now let's look at what it looks like at 5:30. If we can see and spot anything that kind of makes it weird. We'll go to the 30-minute candles so we can zoom in at the 5:30 mark and see if anything's going on. So 5:30 today, nothing was going on, but 5:30 the day before, that's when we seen some stuff that was kind of radical. Here we go right here, and you see a movement, not that big. So what day was that? That was Tuesday. Okay, let's look at Monday at 5:30 in the morning. And same thing, it didn't do anything till 6:30 in the morning. Now 6:30 in the morning, remember, that's when the opening market happened. So it shot up, shot back down. 5:30, nothing. And what I'm trying to show you guys is a 5:30. Friday's really no news, but Thursday. Remember Thursday 5:30 is like unemployment, stuff like that. So let's try to get to 5:30 here and see Thursday 5:30. You can see it went up when everything was little. It went up real quick, and then it had this after effect in the market. The market moved really big. This is a 6:30, the market open. This is the thing before the market opened, some news. Here we go again. The market opens at 6:30 every morning. 5:30, nothing that day. So you need to be careful at 6:30. Here goes 6:30 again, a big candle, right? 5:30, really nothing that day. And another thing that's good to look at is XAU USD, because gold is going to move crazy during these things also. So like, look at this. Today was 11 o'clock. It moved really crazy up, and then it moved crazy down with two candles. So it shot up, shot back down real fast. Let's try to find a 5:30 here. And this is 6:30 when the market opens. This is 5:30. Look at this, how big this candle is at 5:30. Let's find another one. Market opens right here, big candle, second candle going the other way, and a big candle. Well, it's not that big compared to everything. This is 3:30. Guess what? There's big things going on, because that's when Europe opens their time of trading. Here goes 5:30. Look at this big candle on 5:30, right? And then the opening market. Kind of want to look at Thursday, because Thursday was at unemployment, and it should really be moving kind of crazy here. Here goes 5:30 on Thursday. Everything is little, and then the big candle happens, and then it continues. Here goes another one, 5:30. So this event right here, 5:30 on Wednesday last week, look at how big this news event is compared to the opening market. Like, the opening market is right here, but this major news just was like bigger, 5 times bigger than everything else going on. So it's very simple, you guys. You need to be looking at these red pockets. You don't have to really look at any other information but the red, and that's what you got to be careful of. Let's go back in tomorrow's Thursday, and what do we have? Unemployment claims. That's going to make the market move again. It does every week on Thursday at that time, so be careful on holding trades at that time. Also, you can look at gold, and you can see what gold is doing. You can read about it. See, there, like I told you, gold goes through the same thing as all the other stocks and stuff, right, that we're using in indices. But they'll tell you why. You could read about different stuff and how it's going to affect gold. And then if you're trading crypto, you can look at CryptoCraft and see what's going to affect that. Like these red. Anything red is always affecting it, right? All right, you guys. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. God bless you guys. Be careful when you're trading at the news time. Always try to avoid it. Always try to get out of trades and get into trades after the news, a little bit after, because you never know what's going to happen. It's a 50-50 coin flip that it's going to go one way or the other. You can make a whole lot of money, or you can lose a whole lot of money fast. God bless you guys. Have a good day.